A lot of instructors will tell you that it's okay to work off the spool or the coil when you're making wire jewelry. That's actually a really bad piece of advice. I'm Dianne Karg, and today you'll learn the number one reason why you should almost never follow it. Time and time again, I see instructors in videos telling people they should work off their coil or their spool. Now, the reasons given for doing it are it saves time, it saves money, and it's easier to work. Now, what I find really amusing about this is that while they're saying this, they are clearly wrestling with their wire. The coil is in the process of becoming a sprung mess, or their spool is rolling away and unraveling, and what's going on visually completely contradicts what they're saying. And what cracks me up the most is that then they'll make the comment about how the wire is a bit tricky to work with, like this is somehow normal. It doesn't have to be this way. The number one reason why you should not work off of your wire, spool, or coil is that you give up an enormous amount of control over your wire. And as I've mentioned in other videos, wire control is the key to getting professional results. A lot of the time, I see instructors working off the coil when they're making bohemian-style jewelry, which is supposed to be loose and freeform. But I've found that even for something as simple as a pair of ear wires, you're going to get better and more repeatable results by pre-cutting your wire. Besides the risk of your wire unraveling, working off the coil adds unnecessary weight and restricts your movement, so you may find that you're not able to get a good flow. You may end up having to put your hands or your tools in awkward or uncomfortable positions, and that's going to have an impact on how long you can work without feeling like you're turning into a pretzel. Now, if you're working on a piece that uses square wire, working off the coil practically guarantees that you're going to have off square wire or that it's going to torque. Now, that means that you're going to have to go back and spend time to fix the mistakes, or worse, do it again. So, contrary to the claim, working off the coil is not easier, it's not more economical, and it's certainly not saving you any time if you end up having to scrap and start over. What working off of a coil does is teach you a bad habit that sets you up for frustration as you move into more advanced types of wire work. Now, there are some forms of wire work where working off of a spool or a coil is actually beneficial or even preferred. For example, there's a form of braiding out of Japan called kumihimo, where wire is coiled onto a bobbin that is then draped over the side of a slotted tool called a maru die. The maru die is what helps to form the pattern, and having the wire on bobbins and the weight of the bobbins helps to keep the wire smooth and to keep the tension on the braiding consistent. For other types of textile-based wire work, such as knitting, crochet, and for some types of wire weaving, it's actually preferred to work off of a spool because that way you have fewer obvious joins when you're adding a new piece of wire. I should mention that these forms of wire work are primarily done in round wire, so if the wire is twisting and torquing, it's not going to have a big impact on the final look of the project. But for square wire projects, working off the coil is just simply a recipe for disaster. When your goal is to produce pieces that are consistent, repeatable, and showing fine craftsmanship, you do not want to mess with your wire, and you don't want to feel like you're wrestling with your wire. So focus on maximizing your wire control and pre-cut the pieces of wire before you start working. That's it for today. This video is one of the lessons that's included in Course 2 of my Foundation Skills course, The Introduction to Basic Chains. There is an extended version of this video included in the paid version of the course that adds a little bit more information. And if you're a regular subscriber and wondering where episodes 9 through 11 went, they are also part of the paid version of this course. If you're interested in finding out more about basic chains or other courses that I have available, please click up here and come and visit me at my website, thetaoofwire.com. In the meantime, please share this video with your friends and subscribe if you want to know when new videos get released. And of course, I love to hear your feedback about my videos, so like and comment down below. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time.